Bills fans, I'm not even going to attempt to lie to you. I'm not going to tell you a white lie. I'm not going to tell you a partial lie. The truth is, this is likely the worst season y'all will have in the last 5 years.
Shut up, the Bills! It's not house band! It's not house band!
Yeah, we the Buffalo Bills. Yeah, we the Buffalo Bills. You better know that. Look how we throwing and catching, cause we are unstoppable, yeah. You better know that. Look how we running and hitting, cause we are unstoppable, yeah. Reppin' the mafia, yeah. Reppin' the mafia, Bills, mafia, yeah. You better know that. Look how we throwing and catching, cause we are unstoppable, yeah. You better know that. Look how we running and hitting, cause we are unstoppable, yeah. Homie, now listen, everyone play their position. Buffalo got a tradition. They say we trippin', they better get out our way. Top of the table, we flippin', we on a mission. Got an unstoppable team, continue to follow your dream by any means. Buffalo, get in the Super Bowl ring. Cause we the Buffalo Bills. Yeah, we the Buffalo Bills. You better know that. Look how we throwing and catching, cause we are unstoppable, yeah. You better know that. Look how we running and hitting, cause we are unstoppable, yeah. Reppin' the mafia, yeah. Reppin' the mafia, Bills, mafia, yeah. You better know that. Look how we throwing and catching, cause we are unstoppable, yeah. You better know that. Look how we running and hitting, cause we are unstoppable, yeah. Mafia up in your city, time to get gritty. Screaming and yelling, we bugging. Look at the red and blue.
This is an MVP year for Josh Allen. As an MVP voter, I said this last week. Josh Allen, he looks like an MVP. When you vote for MVP, and I can speak for myself, I think I'm one of 50 voters, you look at a couple things. Who's the best team in football? Who's the best player on that team in football? What do they look like as the best player on that team in football? And how much talent is around that best player on that best team in football?
Cause we the Buffalo Bills. Yeah, we the Buffalo.
And welcome. Apologize, it's what happens when you're not here for a few weeks. You get a little rusty. So want to welcome everyone to the Coast to Coast podcast. I am your co-host, Beyond716, back after a few weeks hiatus, and back here with the one, the only Whittle 2K. And I think we have a lot to talk about. Welcome to the 2026 season. Officially, the league year and free agency period kicked off today.
Muted again.
I'm not sure why this is muting me all the time, Whittle. What in the world? So rusty, man. Rusty. So welcome to the 2026 years. I was saying probably for the third time as we officially kick off the 26 season and we move away from 25. We could put that in our rearview mirror as we spoke about a lot. And now we look forward to what we hope is a great 2026. And Whittle, we're going to go into a lot of topics today. We're going to talk about some of the players we brought back, some of the players that have been huge parts of this organization that have moved on. We'll get into that. And some of the new big additions that the Bills have made. And we'll talk about maybe some players that we thought maybe were coming in, didn't come in. And then, of course, we're going to have the one and only Whittle give you a rant for the month today. So you want to make sure you stay tuned for that later on, folks. So, Whittle, how you doing?
The whole month. I'm good, man.
A whole year. Maybe the whole year. It's gonna be great. So
yeah.
Great.
Well,
great
no, it's just I caught wind of this. I caught wind of this a little late. So yeah, I'm gonna address it now. This is something that took place during the playoffs after we lost to the Broncos. A certain Broncos content creator has something to say. I just want to address it.
Sure.
That's all.
You got it.
We're having some issues with Twitter right now, so.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, even my Twitter's a little bit funky right now, so certainly apologize to anyone out there. Maybe having some issues. Is it spinning for you, Whittle? I'm having some issues like that.
No, it's not. It's not going live at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find us on YouTube, and I'm going to just post the link. And if people
Okay.
that usually watch us want to watch us, then you'll pull up to where we are now.
Absolutely. So sometimes technology fails us. Dog, great to see you here as always. So want to hear your thoughts on everything. We're going to get into all the topics of the Buffalo Bills this week, as we have a plethora of things to talk about. But once we get the YouTube link up here, we're going to certainly get into the beginning of the 2026 season. And of course, the NFL hasn't been short on news across the league, and we're just getting started with free agency frenzies we've been seeing, trades, combine. We're going to start moving into the draft coming up in the next month plus. So a lot of exciting stuff coming up here on not only the Coast to Coast, but all our shows here on Dude Champions. Make sure you give Dude Champions a follow, and also give us Coast to Coast podcast on YouTube a like and subscribe. We would always appreciate that. That helps us tremendously. So we can't do without you guys.
Yeah, I just posted it on my on my Twitter page. So if anybody is on Twitter, if you're friends with me, please repost that. We having issues with. I don't know why we're having issues with this, but where was we at? Where was I at? Yeah. All right. So we're talking free agency. We bring back Connor McGovern. We're talking about what potentially some of these guys are going to get paid this offseason, and how it's so important to kind of take care of business. We had the opportunity last year. 2/5 of the offensive line was up for contract. We have a third member of the offensive line that will be up for contract after this season upcoming. Bruce David Edwards, I want to first lose David Edwards. He looks like he's going to be a starter. So there's going to be open spots left guard. Anderson probably going to will be.
Yeah, I was just messaging you, Whittle. Your mic was going a little bit in and out, so I just wanted to show you what Dog was saying too. Can you hear us okay?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. That's better right there.
How does it sound now? Better? Or?
Perfect. Oh yeah, sounds perfect.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So yeah, we definitely got we got McGovern back for a lot less than I thought. I know when Creed Humphrey got signed, I think he got signed for like $18 million, something like that. At that time, Creed's the best center in the NFL, so he got a bag. Tyler Linderbaum got signed for $27 million. I was floored by that. Floored. Come on, bro. Floored by that. So I don't know what happened, but we ended up getting Connor McGovern back for $13 million a season, which is really, 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 really good money. A good contract for the Bills in comparison to what I thought he was going to get. I really thought he was going to end up getting
I thought he was
17, like $17 to $18 million. I thought that was his range, somewhere around there. Maybe not as much as Creed, but close to it. So 17 million in that range. But luckily, happy to see that we have him back with 13. That is a very, very team-friendly contract. And ultimately, he said he wanted to be here. I remember listening to that press conference, and one thing that he said that stood out to me, he said, 13 is a lot of money. And, my family can't live off $13 million, then, we're doing something wrong. And he said, and what's a couple of extra $1 million? for our happiness. Yep, exactly. So
Yep.
they wanted to be happy. They love their neighbors. They don't really go out and do a whole lot. So, they're happy here. And that kind of jumped out to me because it tells me what type of player, what type of personality is going to strive here. People that are about football are going to love it here. Because this, when I say here, I mean playing for the Bills. I mean, in that Buffalo area, you're gonna love it there because it's a football town. I know the Sabres are doing well, and I know the Sabres are, they're smoking right now, and the city is
Beyond
all the buzz
it's like it's
with the Sabres. But the constant for the last, however long, 5 to 10 years or whatever, it's been the Bills. If not the Bills being good or being right there, being on the verge, looking like, looking like they were building something or very close to it. Even when Rex was here, you had the shady years. You know what I'm saying? The Tyrod years. Like the Tyrod years were big. McDermott comes, gets the team back to the playoffs. Josh Allen gets drafted. Here we are. So I just think that if you want to play, if you're a football player and you want to go somewhere where it's about football, you're not I don't want to say enamored, but if you don't need the glitz and glam of an active nightlife all the time, Buffalo's perfect. Buffalo's perfect. So that stuck out to me. I don't know if you saw that press conference, but what are your thoughts on the McGovern sign?
No, I think you hit it, Whittle. I think you hit it on the head. And this is, sometimes maybe we get frustrated if the Bills don't pursue certain players, but there could be a lot of reasons for that we don't see behind the scenes. And there's nothing wrong with a player not liking to play in a market like Buffalo, right? Some players. I mean, listen, when I was 24, 25 years old, and if I had millions and millions of dollars, maybe, I live in Los Angeles, you live in New York. Those are very high profile markets, right? They're, especially when you have a lot of money and there's things to do and there's a lot of nightlife. Miami's another example of a great place to play when you got money. Buffalo is great when you have money too, because you don't have the price of real estate is much lower. I mean, things like that. You have a simple life, especially if you have family like McGovern, has his kids. It's a good place to raise your kids. It's a little more unassuming, a little quieter, not as noisy, to do that. So like Ed Oliver's another example, right? Ed Oliver's a guy that's kind of cut for Buffalo, right? I always feel, he likes to ride horses. He likes the outdoors. Like those are the kind of things that a place like Buffalo could attract, a player that would attract to Buffalo. So I think Brandon Beane, and listen, sometimes Brandon Beane doesn't do every move that we like, but I think they've done a very good job of kind of connecting with that. They recognize those are the type of players that are going to succeed here and be happy, right? And I think that's a real big part of it. It's like back in the 2018 draft. You remember I said I wanted Josh Rosen, but what I thought about it was like, wait a minute, this guy's from Manhattan Beach, California. He grew up, a surfer kid, went to UCLA. Do you really think he's going to like Buffalo? Not usually. That usually doesn't always work. Josh is a farm boy. Farm boy grew up with pistachio farms, right? And he went to Wyoming. A place like Buffalo for him feels like New York. I mean, it's huge in his eyes. So it's just about the fit, right? So not to say a big player can't come here, Whittle. If you're from a big city and succeed, it's just, but that there is that Billsy type player, and I think McGovern fits that. And I thought that was commendable of him to say, like, hey, what's a couple $1 million for happiness? So they really hit a sweet spot for Buffalo on that extension.
Yeah, one of the better moves that we made in a while. Like that's a really, really good value signing. Like ultimately, when we talk about Connor McGovern, he's widely recognized as one of the best centers in the NFL. I would say he's probably a top 5 center. I don't think that there are 5 other centers in the NFL right now that you could say are better than Connor McGovern at this point. I don't believe he gave up a sack at all last year. Josh is very comfortable with him. And look, man, like it's great. Like I think I think it's great. So, but yeah, let's move on to some other additions that we made. Not necessarily re-signs, but Dawson Knox.
Mhm.
Finally, Dawson Knox's contract has been reworked and extended to
Mhm.
lower his number. So now, Bills fans, we can stop complaining about Dawson Knox now. Okay,
Mhm.
Uh,
That'd be
we can
nice.
stop talking about his contract. That's it.
Mhm.
He's good now.
Yep.
Let's be happy that we can still go 12 personnel, and in the event that Dalton Kincaid, aka Dalton First Aid, goes down for whatever reason, Dawson Knox can pop right back in and shoulder the duties of the main tight end role. So
Mhm.
where are we at? All right, so yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah.
Dawson Knox.
Dawson's one of those core guys, and it fits very much what McGovern too. I feel like he's a lifer, right? I feel like there's some guys like Deion Dawkins, right? Josh, Dawson Knox. You know what I mean? There's certain guys that I just hope you're feeling that way, Whittle. It's just certain players that, man, I just hope this guy finishes his career at Buffalo, right? And we don't know if that's going to happen. Maybe at the end of their career, the Bills move another direction and they go somewhere else, like a Thurman Thomas did or Bruce Smith. I mean, those things are going to happen. But we want the bulk or 95% of their career to be with the Buffalo Bills. So I'm really happy. And Knox brings, again, that veteran leadership in the room that this team can always use, and what he does on the field, how unselfish he's been over all this time. Will never complained once that Dalton Kincaid was drafted. You and I were both kind of mixed on that pick. I thought, when we first did it, and I still stay mixed on that pick to this day. But Dawson Knox is a guy that is not complained about it. He just put his head down. He did his work. So happy to have Dawson back, and he helped the team out as well.
I didn't like the pick. I wanted Brian Branch, but
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I was kind of like, I was just on the pick, I would say, if I had to put a sound on it.
But you know what? Dawson Knox, while he is a very, 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 very good, I think he's a very good tight end.
Mhm.
He's an FOJ, and FOJs get taken care of. Speaking of FOJ, Kyle Allen is back. Whatever reason, Brandon Beane signed Kyle Allen to a 2-year, $4.2 million contract. I don't know why he's making $2 million.
Yeah,
But
just for listeners, what FOJ means. Just in case.
yeah, he's another FOJ. I
Yep.
pray that we address the backup quarterback spot in the draft. Maybe like this year. Like that'd be nice. Let's just say that we're in the 6th round and we got I think we have a couple of 6th round picks now. I have to actually pull that up. Yeah. So let's say we're in the 6th and Clay. Why can't I say his name?
Who's
Cade
that?
Klubnik.
Okay.
The quarterback from Clemson. Let's say he's sitting
Yes.
there. Just take him. Just take him.
Yep.
Worst case scenario, he stinks, and it's a late round. It's a late 3rd round. It's a late 3rd day pick. Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be open to bringing in a UDFA and seeing, if it's possible that we can get lightning out of a bottle like Chicago did. I don't know, but let's see. I know I don't want Kyle Allen as the backup plan for Josh Allen. I don't want that.
Could not agree more.
Another free agent that there's a few that we have to say, some guys that were with us that are no longer with us. Taron Johnson was traded to he was going to be released, and then they rescinded that and said, no, we're just going to trade you to the Raiders for a late round pick swap. So we sent them a 7th. We had 2 7ths. They sent us a 6th back, and they got Taron Johnson. Tough to see Taron go. I can understand it, not necessarily because of the scheme change, but because of the fall off in play. Like, I'm sorry, the last 2 years, he has been it's been pretty evident in coverage that he's starting to slow down. And when you're kind of undersized already, that doesn't help a lot. So nickels are getting bigger. A lot of teams are playing safeties in nickel. Our new defensive coordinator, Jim Leonard, loves to go with a 3 safety look. So I think they're going to try to get younger and more athletic at that position. And I believe that they did a little younger, a little more juice as far as taking the football away. They brought in D. Alford.
D. Alford.
The nickel corner from most recently with the Falcons. Bills fans recognize that name outside of free agency. It's because he picked Josh Allen off in Atlanta last year in week 6. I want to say it was. I think Atlanta was week 6. Yeah, I think it was week 6. I mean, I should know it was there. Pulling what little hair I have left out. But yeah, so check that out. Like that was a nice little move that Bean made. The guys, he had 3 interceptions last year. He also can return punts. So now we have another guy that we may be able to throw back there to help us out on special teams. You know how the Buffalo Bills love guys that can play on a down-to-down basis and give you something in special teams, and he can do that. So another savvy move, I thought, by Brandon Beane. We lose Cam Lewis to where did Cam Lewis go?
I forgot. Was it Washington? Anyone in the chat, you can help me out. That'd be great. I know I saw a blurb. Yeah, I've just been in and out of so much news lately for agency. Where did Cam Lewis sign? Let's see. Or was it the Raiders, maybe? Cam Lewis. Oh, Bears. Bears signed Cam Lewis.
Bears.
Yep.
Love our old players, man.
Yeah, they do. They do.
All right, so
Tacos who?
Oh, God. Cam Lewis, man. Don't do that. All right, so Cam is gone.
Be nice to Cam.
Yeah, Cam was cool, man. I enjoy having him on the team.
Yeah.
Cam is gone. Reggie Gilliam is gone. He was picked up by the Patriots. Did the Patriots get him? I think the Patriots signed Reggie Gilliam. Yeah, the Patriots signed Reggie Gilliam. So, not too happy about that. I would have liked to keep Reggie Gilliam, but the Patriots managed to swoop in and take another special teams guy out of our pocket. I don't appreciate that, but that's kind of what they do at this point.
Yeah. Absolutely.
No.
Yeah, and the other thing, just to note about Taron, we did pull a 6th-round pick out of that from the Raiders. We did trade him and move up, get our pick upgrade. I thought it was a nice little bit of a savvy move by Brandon Beane.
Yeah, better than nothing.
Better than nothing. And
zero.
Yep. And for me, I've been a fan for a long time, Mulder. Taron Johnson, to me, will always – at this point, to me, that was the greatest play in Buffalo Bills history, picking off Lamar Jackson for 100-plus yards. And to me, that was – out of all the plays I've ever seen, one play. I'm just talking one moment, right? Well, not game, not, winning an AFC title or things like that. But I think that moment was probably the greatest play in Buffalo Bills history, for my money. That's what I say. And a lot of people could argue with me on that, but that for me was such a great moment and kind of symbolized how far we've come and how great this run has been with this group. So that's my 2 cents, but people can definitely.
I can't argue that. Can't argue against that.
But I wish him well. I do, and same with Gilliam. But yeah, go sign with New England. Yeah, whatever. So, but listen, I can't blame him. Again, if the Bills don't want him and he's got to get paid, then more power to him, as I say.
Right. All right. Who else?
Lots of moves.
Yeah. Oh, did we talk about DJ Moore? I don't think we talked about DJ.
No, this guy, some wide receiver from Chicago that we may have brought in last week.
We've been trying to get this guy for a while. They love their ex-Carolina Panthers. So Brandon Beane goes out and trades the second-round pick. Now, I wasn't too happy about it. Was not very happy about the second-round pick, but I get it, but I don't like it. But I understand. But I still don't like it. I didn't like trading that. I didn't like trading that compensation and eating all the salary as well. That to me was a lot. Now we did get a fifth round pick in return, and I'm sure Brandon Beane's going to figure out a way to find an All-Pro at that point in the fifth round, or a solidified starter at the very least, because that's what he does. He finds gems on day 3 and can't find and he can't find the slam dunks on in the first round. Well, I can't even say that because he found Josh. Never mind. Never mind. I'm going to take that one back. But yeah, DJ Moore, 6 feet, about 185, 190, does everything. Can run a complete route tree. He is fast. He is an excellent route runner. Very good separator. He's top 5 in yards against man coverage since 2020. He's one of the better separators. And that's kind of what we've been looking for, a guy that could attack all 3 levels, a guy that can win on third down if you give him a one-on-one matchup. I like the chances of a guy like DJ Moore winning his one-on-one matchup with whatever corner he's going against. So, good addition. Love the player. Don't necessarily love the compensation we gave up. But sometimes you got to pay a little more, and we are in win now mode. Given the landscape of wide receivers that were available in free agency and the trade, you're talking about overpaying in a trade for Brian Thomas Jr. or an AJ Brown, Jordan Addison, like some of the guys that these teams have said, they're listening to phone calls for. You're not going to get a guy in the second round at pick 60 that's better than DJ Moore is right now. Maybe they'll become better in a few years or 2 years or whatever, but it's too much of a risk when you are where we are. So, go with the sure thing. Doesn't cost you a first round pick, which is cool because we definitely need that. And that's more so a bargaining chip than anything else. I don't think we'll pick in the first round this year, but I do think that we will use that pick to move back and get more picks and add some key pieces to this roster.
Absolutely.
What do you think about that?
Listen, I think that last point was very important, Whittle, and I think I agree with you about the compensation. I guess, it's one of those things when you first heard the trade, I guess we were speculating on so many different receivers. Of course, there was those ridiculous Justin Jefferson pipe dreams, which we all knew were just pipe dreams. But, A.J. Browns, and you had other, quote, sexier names out there, maybe more definable, more noticeable or fans, names that we know better. I know DJ Moore, but I don't know DJ Moore, if that makes sense, Whittle. Like, I watch the Bears, but I don't study DJ Moore that closely. And after I first heard it, I'm like, okay, second round pick, that's quite a bit to give up, and we're taking on the salary, especially from a team that really had to move off of him because they did draft Rome Odunze. They have a gluttony of wide receivers. They needed to move on. But yeah, I looked up DJ Moore and just look at his numbers. The one thing that I do like, and one of the big things that is we talk about a Billsy player is availability, right? This guy has played every game since 2020. He's missed a total of really one game in the last 6 years. I mean, so he's available. So the guy is on the field. So durability seems to be very good. He's had a couple of years. He's had 93 receptions, 96, 98. Now his targets, he had 136 and 140 the last 2 years. In 23 and 24, he went down to 85 last year. So that explains the drop to 50 receptions. I know that's something that stuck out to me. It's like, why did that happen? I guess maybe that's one of my concerns, and maybe you can speak more to it. Like, why did he fall in favor of Chicago if he was so productive? Now, I know that they made some pickups and they've added to their offense, but if he was that good, and he really was, like, why did he fall in favor? Was it on him? Was it was it just him and Caleb Williams didn't jive together? I mean, didn't he catch almost 100 passes with Justin Fields? I mean, that may be worthy of a Nobel Peace Prize, Whittle. I mean, comparing, see how he passed the ball last year. I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, the way Justin Fields, and I had no hate for Justin Fields, but, he's not the top passer in the league. So I guess it warmed up to me a little bit, but I think you nailed it, Whittle. If we move down in the draft, right, if we pick up some more draft capital and we look at what we do, if we fill those key positions, via the draft, and if we make a couple of moves here, then I think we could live with this trade a lot more. So I think it's just we don't know what the finished product looks like yet. So I'm going to kind of reserve and say whether it's a great move or not until we see what we're dealing with come, let's say, May, when the smoke clears.
Wow. So I agree. I think DJ Moore comes in. I think he immediately gives Josh Allen that separator on the outside. That's going to free up space for everyone else to work in between the in between the intermediate and short area of the field. What else does it also? What else does it do? Well, it gives you an opportunity. It gives you an opportunity to make teams play you honest. There's no more of the. There's no more of that. There is no more of teams bringing their safeties down 7-8 yards off the line. Like, you're not doing that now with DJ because he may burn you for a touchdown. I looked at his basically, his route breakdown of what he did last year. I'm gonna put it in the word, son.
So if any of you in the chat, please feel free to provide us what you feel about some of these moves. DJ Moore. Whittle, I did want to put something up for us that we started today with. And I want to hear more from our guy Dog about this comment. But actually, I'm going to wait a little bit for it for a second here. I want that to kind of stand on its own a little bit because I really want to hear a little bit more what Dog has to say on this topic, because Dog came firing right out of the gate tonight. So I do want to hear what he's got to say. Whittle, are you frozen right now? Okay, so he may be frozen.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Okay, I see you on the screen. I thought maybe you were looking something up, so that's why I was so quiet. So I'll continue.
No.
So you're here. I can see you. Got a good pose. I mean, you're looking fine, you know. Hat's looking good. I like the necklace you got. You know what I mean? So, so.
Can you hear me?
Frozen. Yep, absolutely.
Well, that's weird.
I could hear you loud and clear. I just can't see you moving around. That's the only thing I can't see. But
Yeah,
maybe we should do a Frozen podcast tonight.
it sucks.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this StreamYard tonight, everyone. I certainly apologize. Get us sending on our tweets. It's freezing up on us. The audio's cutting out. I don't know what's going on tonight, but who knows? But call it March Madness, whatever you want to call it. So and Dog, I am going to come back to your comment for sure once we get Whittle straightened out here. But I just want to welcome Michael here and thanks. Great to see you here too. Love the DJ Moore signing. I think it's a great signing us and gives us a true number one. Hey, listen, that's something that we certainly hope for. And maybe this could be a weird take about DJ Moore. And when we got Stephon Diggs in 2020, it was very exciting, right? He was a guy that came from Minnesota, but he had his issues in Minnesota too, but he was, we got real excited. And maybe we've just been so accustomed to making moves, and we've been so accustomed to success here with the Buffalo Bills that I think sometimes it loses a little bit of its luster. I hope you understand what I'm saying. They call it the law of diminishing returns. It's an economic thing where, like, for example, if you love Dog, I'll use the great city of brotherly love, right? And I love Philly cheesesteaks, man, it's as much as everybody, right? If you go to a certain place, if I go to Pat's or Geno's all the time, right? If I go a couple weeks, oh man, it tastes great. But if I keep going more and more and more, and I see the same things and I get the same, maybe it loses a little bit of that excitement, or it's really delicious, right? So I know it's a weird take, but we've gotten so accustomed to winning around here, really since 2019 with the moves. We expect more, right? We want that big splash. We're maybe secretly hoping for, to get AJ Brown or to get, of course, Jefferson, something like that. But DJ Moore again, this is what we've really needed. We needed a guy, a volume receiver, a guy that the safeties on the other team had to say, man, I got to look for that guy, right? I got to pay attention to him. I got to pay attention to DJ Moore. And the other thing about DJ Moore that I think could be the biggest impact is what it does in terms of it moves Shakir into a better spot. It also can move a guy like Keon Coleman into a better slot. Maybe he's more of a slot guy. Maybe he doesn't have to feel, that pressure at this moment. He's still a very young guy. Keon Coleman is still developing. And again, who knows if Keon Coleman may not ever be that superstar receiver we want, but what if I told you Keon Coleman becomes a 50, 60 catch guy with possible double-digit touchdowns, makes big plays for us? Would you not take that from a first pick in the second round? I sure would. Okay, doesn't mean just because you're picked 33rd doesn't mean you're going to be a 90, 100 reception pass catcher. That's not who it is. But you see how it moves everybody into better slots, better matchups, things like that. You're going to face different corners, right? And we'll have to see who the Bills maybe add at wide receiver. I did want to talk to Whittle more about this, and I hope he comes back. I had some ideas, maybe some of the targets that we could look at, maybe. And I'm sure we're going to get more into the draft. I feel like we need that speedy receiver, that guy who could take the top off of a defense. There are some guys out there. I was thinking I had a weird name to throw at you all. Is Scotty Miller. He used to play for Tampa. He's that real speed guy from Tampa Bay, if you remember him a few years ago. He's floating out there. Maybe that's a guy we take a chance on. That kind of wide receiver, right? The guy that maybe he's not going to catch more than 20 passes, 25 receptions, but he just creates that option for Josh Allen maybe to hit one, maybe a few times a year down the field, or maybe stretches things out for some underneath stuff, or opens things up for our tight ends or even our wide receivers. So that's what you're really trying to do as an offensive coordinator. So, and listen, the other thing about DJ Moore is he had some of his best years under Joe Brady. So that is something else to think about. I think it's something that is really going to be a benefit for us. And again, I feel like too, the other thing is when it comes to DJ Moore, until we see it, I think we're always going to be a little uneasy about it, right? So we get to week 3 and DJ Moore's already got 22 receptions, 6-7 a game, and he's cooking. And in that case, so and I want to get to Michael's question too on that. And I agree with Dog here. I'd love to have Cooks back as well. Dog, he really impressed me last year on and off the field. I just, he feels like a guy that's a team player. He could be maybe a good veteran presence for a guy like Coleman, which I think will definitely help him. He could be a mentor for him a little bit too. I think that'll be something, because he's been such a great pro for such a long time. Cooks isn't a Hall of Famer, but he's one of those guys that he's had a heck of a career. He really, really has. So I would not oppose to that. Bringing him back, it feels like him and Josh had a pretty good connection for a bit there. I see Whittle coming back here, and he knows how to get open. I agree with that too, Dog. So, and Michael, I'm going to get to your comment because I want to save that for Whittle here as well, because I know I wanted to really get his opinion on our other big move today. And there he is. He is back, and we have switched. He is now Beyond, and I am Whittle. So we are. Oh no, now he's Whittle. Now I'm Beyond. There we go. So we are back. What a night for this. This StreamYard, man. We need a refund for this week or something. So
Terrible.
Horrendous. Yeah, absolutely horrendous. I agree. But yeah, so we were talking a little bit. We just talked about Brandon Cooks a lot more. We went to Dog talked about maybe bringing back Brandon Cooks, which I thought was a good idea. I did want to save some of the other comments in here for our other big move for you today. The big move we made this afternoon. So I didn't want to start that yet.
Talking about receivers.
We're kind of off receivers now. I want to ask you this. So what kind of receiver do you want to add another receiver? And I was thinking more of a speed guy, a guy that has pure speed that can take the top off a little bit. Any targets or anything that you would like to see anything that you've been looking at for a reason?
Well, the guy I was looking for was Tyquan Thornton, but he ends up going back to the Chiefs 2 years for $11 million. So I mean that was pretty cheap. It'd be nice to have gotten him, but
and to pluck him away from Mahomes would have been nice, but
you said what?
And to take him away from Mahomes, pluck him away from Mahomes, that would have been great too.
Right, that would have been awesome too. Yeah, there were a lot of moves that I would like to have seen made, but we just really weren't able to. I know a lot of people wanted Dobbs. Listen, DJ Moore is better than he is. I'm telling you now, DJ Moore is better than Romeo Dobbs. I don't care what anybody has to say about that. We can
so you don't think
now
Dobbs hasn't had as many targets, but you just don't think he's equipped to be a number one receiver like a DJ
Not
Moore?
that I don't think that he's equipped to be a number one. It's not that. I think DJ Moore. I think DJ Moore gives you what Dobbs gives you, but with the availability. And I think DJ Moore is a much better receiver. I think he's a much better deep ball route runner. I think his route running is better as well. Like I think he's a better route runner than Dobbs. I think his hands are more consistent than Dobbs, even though I do think both of them are, pretty good catchers of the football. I think Moore is better. I think he's better. But Dobbs wouldn't have cost us the second round pick. So if we would have just paid Dobbs, I would have been cool with that. That would have been fine with me. $25 million. What did he get? Dobbs? I don't even know.
That's 17. He went to New England. Went to New England.
He got $17 million.
I believe he did. Was it or Romeo Dobbs contract? I can't keep
Yeah.
up.
What was
with
the
these.
what was the years and the
4 years, $68 million. 17, right on the button. $17 million a year. 4 years, $68 million.
I would have did that.
Yeah.
He's not. Dobbs is not gonna. He's not. He's not gonna get off. He's not gonna get off.
Mm-hmm.
He's not gonna get off, bro. 4 for 68. 4 for 68 is nice. I would have been real happy with that versus, getting DJ Moore. Not that I think DJ Moore's a better player, but I would have been real happy with paying 17 to a borderline wide receiver 1. 100%. 100%. Availability is an issue for me. He's hurt a lot. Like a lot. He's got a bunch of he's had a few concussions, but whatever.
That's why he wears that huge helmet. It would have been a pretty popular thing in Buffalo to see Romeo right around the helmet.
I call it the Toad. You ever play Mario Brothers?
Yes.
Toadstool
Yep.
from Mario Brothers? That's what the helmet reminds me of.
Yep.
That's what reminds me of right there.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing about Dobbs. 96 targets is his career high. It's not very much. Like he hasn't had that. Now, whether maybe that's who he is, Whittle. Maybe he is more of a number 2 guy. So, borderline number 1. It's hard to say.
So,
right?
I mean, to be honest with you, I think Dobbs is the better version of Joshua Palmer. We already had that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good point, Michael, for sure. That's a good point as well. Definitely for sure. Bye, Tinkers. Have a good night. What else? So defensively, we talked about did we touch on defense yet? While I was away.
We haven't went over the big move yet, and we did have a comment from Michael, so he wanted to know our opinion on our big signing today. So we could get into
Bradley
that if you
Chubb.
like. Yep.
Bradley Chubb comes over to Buffalo. I think we signed him for about 14 and a half, something like that. 13, 14 million.
It
Somewhere in
was
that range.
4
I think it's like 14 and a half.
3 years, $43 million contract, 29 mil guaranteed, up to 52.5 in incentives.
So 13 and a half.
Mm-hmm.
No, 14. No, 14.
14.
Yeah, 14 and a half. 14 and a half.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So 14 and a half, I'm not, whatever. Like that, I don't think that's a crazy amount of money for a guy that had 8.5 sacks last year and was coming off of a ACL tear, right? The year before his ACL tear, he had 11.5 sacks. We haven't had a guy have 11.5 sacks. I don't know when. I don't know who the last guy is to have 11 sacks for the team. I don't know. It's been a long time. Last double-digit sack guy we had was Floyd. Leonard Floyd. So
And he did most of that in the first half of the season too.
right. So yeah, I'm cool with it. I'm cool. I'm cool with the move. It does fill a need. I think he's more of a reserve now. He can start. And I do think he's still young. He's like 28, 29, somewhere around there. He's going to be 30, or I think he's like 29. I think it'll be 30. Or it might be one of the two. I'm you know what? I haven't. I don't know why.
Okay, I have the answer for you, Whittle. The last Buffalo Bill to get over 11.5 sacks in a year. This guy was very underrated for the Bills. He was a veteran, played under Rex Ryan. Had some big years under Rex.
Are you?
Nope, this guy was a late bloomer. I'll give you a hint. He was a late bloomer, I would say. kind of came in and he really took off.
Lorenzo
Around
Alexander.
6. Yep, 12 and a half sacks he had in 2016.
Yeah.
He had a really good year that year. I remember. I forgot about that. But
But
since then, we haven't had a guy over the most we've had since 2016, Whittle, is Leonard Floyd with 10.5. So
yeah, he'll be 30. Okay. All right. So he'll be 30 in June. That's fine. And that's fine. That's fine.
that's good.
Because I do think that we will draft. I do think we will draft a guy. I think we'll draft somebody in the this year, probably next year too. It's a 2-year deal. He's going. I do think as long as Bradley Chubb is healthy, having him on the other side of Rousseau in this odd front defense is really, really going to help out because if there's one thing Bradley Chubb can do, he can get to the quarterback. That's not a problem for him.
Yep.
I do think some of his hoping that some of his explosion comes back. 6'4", 268 pounds, 270, whatever. Very good against the run. Can play from a 2-point stance. Fits in perfectly with what came from the Broncos. Prior to being in Miami, he was with the Broncos. So he can play standing up. He can play, with his hands in the dirt. He can play. He's going to play on the edge. He was good with stunts with Miami last year. I think that this is a good value signing for Brandon Beane. Nice move. Not the move that I was hoping for or expecting. I was expecting something bigger, but we'll get to that.
We shall. Yep.
Yeah,
Hey, Will, one thing I just wanted to ask you about Chubb. We talked a lot about Joey Bosa and his inability to be effective in the run defense. I mean, would Chubb be a little more effective in that? Because I feel like this is an upgrade over. He's very good on the edge. Very good. That's good.
All that stuff that we was dealing with Bosa last year, we don't have to worry about that. If he stays healthy, the defense is going to improve immensely.
Yep. Is he going to play outside linebacker, Whittle, or a little edge, or both? He's going to be a little bit of hybrid. So he'll be the outside linebacker, right? Okay.
Him and Rousseau will play very similar roles on the opposite side.
Yep.
We like the.
I
like the Alford. I don't think it's a huge upgrade from Taron Johnson, but especially in coverage, I don't think it's a huge upgrade in coverage. As far as man coverage, I don't. But he's a good zone. He's a good zone. He's a good zone defender. Not the greatest. He's not the greatest tackler, but he will go get the football, and he can run back punts. So I think that's a lot of the value is that he's going to probably return punts. He'll play nickel. He's also versatile enough that he can play inside and outside. So he can play corner, he can play boundary, or he can play the nickel. So, you're getting triple duty at this point because special teams, boundary, and inside. So maybe they decide that they're going to go with less corners this year because of his versatility. I don't know, but we will find out.
Absolutely.
Yes, Bosa was horrible against the run. Yes.
Yes, he was. Hey, Whittle, do you think we bring back AJ Epineza? I know he's one of your favorites and mine too, so I wanted to get your thoughts on AJ.
I'm holding out hope for it. If we do bring him back, I'm going to go get the jersey.
There you go. I would like to see him come back. I think that would, the more depth, the better. And I think we're really set on our line if we make that move. We can still draft somebody too, but it's not as much of a need if you bring back AJ.
I got the Milano jersey on because I'm holding out hope that we bring him back too. I love Milano.
I haven't heard much about him lately. There's no chatter about him going anywhere or anything, so we'll have to see.
I don't know if he wants to go anywhere else, to be honest.
Yeah, he may just be holding it.
He doesn't strike me as the type that I say that, and then you know what will pop across the Twitter the Twitter version.
Like right now, we'll get a bomb late.
Matt Milano signs a 2-year deal with the Chicago Bears for
or the Jets,
$12.5 million. It's like,
yeah. Oh man,
that would hurt. That would.
Mm-hmm.
Hurt. But
yep.
It is what it is. So why we have Bradley Chubb and not some of the other guys that we talked about before is because before we get into that, we did discuss let's see.
Well, couple little notes on who else we brought back. Let's see. We did assign a 1-year, $3.547 million right of first refusal tender to Ryan Vandermark. May I ask, what is right of first refusal tender? Does that give us the ability to match anything at this point, or?
Yes.
It's almost like an RFA, just protecting it, right?
Wait. No. No, I'm sorry. I think that I don't want to be wrong.
No, I'm with you. I was like, what? I read that about 4 times, and if anybody in the chat, so it says right of first refusal tender, and I just can't wrap my head around it to know exactly. I was just thinking more of like, okay, so if the Jets sign him, we have so many days to match, or we get compensation. Like, I'm not really sure how that works in that case.
Okay. So it's kind of like an RFA, but there's no so like with RFAs, right? You can put a tender on a player based on what if another team offers above it and we don't match it, yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay, gotcha.
The other one is we put a tender on a player, second round tender, third round, fourth round, whatever. There's a dollar amount attached to that. If a team wants that player and they are willing to pay whatever that tender is, they'll get the player, but we'll get the pick.
Okay.
So
I wonder how long that lasts. Like, when does that officially? Okay, I guess there's maybe a certain amount of time maybe that teams get to do that. I mean, does it go through the offseason? Like, when does it get to a point like, okay, Ray Vandermark, you were a Buffalo Bill this year, no other teams can make that offer? I'm curious about that too. It's like, is it 7 days, or is it, to the start of the season? But I got that. And thank you for that, Joe. Appreciate that as well. That comment, but I was just, but that's an interesting wording of it. Just kind of feels like it's a little confusing on the surface. Let's put it that way. But Ryan Vandermark, I'm a little surprised that he signed, to be honest. I did not expect. I thought he was going to be gone for sure, but
I love it here.
Mm-hmm.
That's not even like hyperbole. Like the guys that are on this team, like a lot of them truly love being here. And I'm not saying it because it's the Bills. I just think that they have made genuine friendships with other guys on the team, and they love it. They love being here.
Mm-hmm. But I do still agree. I still agree with you on. I'd like to see a couple play. And again, you don't want guys that are going to destroy locker rooms or anything like that. That's not what we're talking about. But I'm okay with getting some guys that are a little bit edgy. I'm good with that. I don't have to have all nice, perfect guys in this team. I'm talking about rentals, maybe bringing a guy short term, right? I'm okay with that. I want some guys that have hunger, that have desire, that have fire.
What's the goal? Yeah,
sometimes. Yeah. Listen, we talked about hockey before, Whittle. One of the biggest reasons why the Buffalo Sabres are turning around is that they're starting to bring in those players, and you can't mess with them now. And they have guys that it's accountability. It's, they have the veterans say, hey, we're not going to have a country club atmosphere. Yeah, that's what I just want the Bills to avoid that. That's really what I'm making sure that they don't fall into that trap. But not that they've really shown that that's the problem, but
it's fair.
Yeah, we have a whole new coaching staff now. We have we're going to have some new. It's going to be all new. Everything's going to be a lot different this year. So the unknown is always a little bit scary.
Yeah, I think somebody I was saw Kevin put something out and said the Buffalo Bills right now, based on what everybody else has done in the league, the Bills have a top 5 roster.
They do. I saw that number 4. Now, can I saw that rating. How the heck do they put our tight ends rated 5? Average? The whole unit? I think the Bills are way better than that. Now you can say what you want about Kincaid.
Wait, you said they have it where?
Well, it's from a 1 to a 10. So they have Josh as a 10, obviously, right? They rate the offensive lines a 9, but the tight end room they rated a 5. I'm like, that seemed kind of light to me. I'm not saying the Bills have a 9. I was thinking more like a 7. I thought the Bills are pretty rock solid at tight end 1 to 3.
I thought that was a whole list. I want to see what the grades were.
They even put the Rams at 5, which I was surprised too. The Rams also have a very underrated 3 tight end room, at least in my eyes. But but it's interesting though. Despite and we also a couple of moves I just wanted to point out for you. We had some cap casualties. Curtis Samuel, wide receiver, is now a former Buffalo Bill. Taylor Rapp and Whittle. I know this one breaks your heart. And listen, I know you've been a big fan of this guy for a long time, but number 23 in the program, number 1 in your heart, Dane Jackson, is now a former Buffalo Bill. And Whittle is having a toast to Dane Jackson being gone from the Buffalo Bills. that I've been waiting for that one.
Good luck to him. I mean, I wish him the best.
Absolutely. Yeah, I don't wish anybody the best. But yeah, just not an our team.
Wish him the best. Wish him the best.
Yep. Absolutely. So that's
wish him the best somewhere else.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty much the rundown that I can see in terms of where we're at. But what else do we need, right? I mean, don't they always say that GMs don't like to go into the draft with a gaping hole? They want to fill it in some way, right? Like even if it's not who's going to be your starter. So something that we could look for. Where do we have holes? Where do we need players to be added? So just want to give a shout out here to Dexy. We said about the Chubb signing, and just to reiterate that as we go through, we both liked it here. Both thought it was a very solid move for the amount of money that we paid and what he could bring. And if he could get the double-digit sacks, I think that's an excellent move for Brandon Beane and company.
Yeah, he missed the 24 season with the ACL because he tore it in 23. I think he tore it. Was it week 17 against us? In 23?
I think it was. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
No, it was late. I know it was very late in the 23 season. He tore his ACL.
Yeah, because he missed that wild card game against the Chiefs in that cold. I remember that. He was out.
So he missed the entire 24 season. But in 23, he had 11.5 sacks.
Yeah.
And last year, coming off of the ACL, was at 8.5. And that defense, that Miami defense was not good until, nearly the midpoint of the season. That's when they just kind of kicked in the gear, and they ended up.
They fired Greer, right? Yeah. As soon as they fired Greer, they kind of took off a little bit. It felt like
it feels like that, yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm. It feels like that, but yeah, that's I think if he's healthy, I think he's gonna be good. To get him for $14.5 million when Odafe Oweh's getting 25, and he's had one really productive year. A bunch of guys are getting. I just think a bunch of guys. Odafe, no, I said Oweh already. Boye Mafe got $20 million. He had 2 sacks last year. Joseph Ossai got $12 million. I don't even know what his numbers are. Probably like 4 or 5 sacks total last year. So, like the guys that are not even really that productive are getting paid. Sure, his age has something to do with it. The injury history obviously going to bring his number down, but 15, I think, is a steal if he's healthy. And he's like, I know he's 29, but like the really good pass rushers, the really good edge rushers, they play well. They can play well into their 30s. So yeah, I like the signing, man. I'm good with them. I'm really, really happy with it.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't overpay. I don't think we overpaid. I think this has a chance of being one of the better deals because he performs. If he gets double-digit sacks, that's a huge value signing.
Mm-hmm.
He's good against the run too. Like we talked a little bit about that. So I love it, man. I love that pickup.
Good stuff. Good stuff. So we've covered all of our moves. So what else
we'll talk about? Bills fans have been pretty upset with the lack of moves, the lack of big moves, right? Like the DJ Moore thing was kind of a big deal, but not the big fish that I think Bills fans wanted. And well, we're gonna get into that because there were a lot of good free agents that kind of went in the first few days of the tampering period. They were already taken off the board. Osai went to the Jets. Mafe goes to the Bengals, which I hate because I think Mafe is a good player. Who else? I mean, those are really the only two edge guys that I cared about. Leo Chenal ends up getting 8.25 to go and play for who does Chenal sign with?
Chanel?
Yeah, Leo Chenal.
Washington.
Oh, the Commanders. The Commanders.
Oh, geez. I had a slip there.
Commanders signed everybody.
Once a year. I had a Commanders spend like crazy right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Chenal went to the Commanders. Devin Lloyd went to. He didn't even go for a lot of money either. I think he went for like 15.
Panthers. He went to the Panthers. They're another team that was very. Do you see the money they gave? The guy who went to the Eagles last year, Jalen Phillips.
Oh yeah, that was ridiculous. $30 million.
Insane.
But he's young. He's young, so that's why they did that. Because if his body his body held up this past year. If his body continues to hold up, he's going to be a big time player. Unacceptable. He was the one. Unacceptable. Got it, dog. As much as we want to blame Brandon Beane for this, can't, because Brandon Beane was big fish. He was big game hunting. We have been trying to land Trey Hendrickson for nearly 2 years. That was the big fish he was going at. I think we were close. I don't know if we were necessarily going to be able to sign him, but we were close.
Mm-hmm.
And Max Crosby already off the table because the Ravens agreed in principle to make a trade of 2 first-round picks for Max Crosby. That deal was March 6th. So shifted our focus to Trey Hendrickson. We were in that Trey Hendrickson sweepstakes. We were in it. Unfortunately, the news came out that Trey Hendrickson wants $30+ million, and no team is offering him $30+ million. Now, I was surprised because the man led the NFL in sacks 2 consecutive years. Now, last year he was hurt, so he missed pretty much the whole year. But the 2 years before that, he definitely led the NFL in sacks. Yes, he's a little older. I think he's gonna be 32. I think he's 32. Will be 32 this year, or he's already 32. But he's a very, very productive player. and we were in it, man. We were in it. And once that news came out, the Ravens magically found some issues with Max Crosby's knee, and because the trade didn't get finalized until 4 o'clock today, they backed out of that deal. They backed out of it yesterday. Got their first round picks back, and they went ahead and paid Trey Hendrickson 4 years, 112, 118, somewhere around there, $1 million. And Trey Hendrickson is now with the Baltimore Ravens. No, there's no way he was getting both of those guys. And appreciate you, Gino, for jumping in here. But yeah, thank you for pulling up, man. We appreciate everybody that's here. All four of you. So my issue with what the Ravens did, because I think it's Bush League. I think it's terrible. I think it's horrible, actually. My issue with that is not that he failed the physical and yeah, Joe, you're right. I think they'll address that in the draft. To be honest, like the one guy that was available, Ashawn, Ashawn Robinson or something like that. He ended up getting signed today too. So I just think that there were a lot of guys that we should have been in on that we weren't in on because we were in on Trey Hendrickson. I think that was the big fish that Bean was trying to land. And can't blame him for that because Bengals told Trey to go find a trade before last season. He found a trade. The trade was to us. The Bengals said, you know what? No, we're not trading you to the Bills. So I get it. Trey gets a chance now to go to Baltimore, play against the Bengals twice, and really make them pay. I love the petty. Go do your thing, dog. I just don't like it from the standpoint of the Ravens backed out of this deal because they felt like we can now go get Trey Hendrickson and keep our picks. That's scummy. Like I just think that's scummy. That's really scummy. And not that you made a shrewd business move and that, you know, you did what was best for your franchise, because that's really what happened. You did what was best for the franchise. Makes sense. I don't disagree with that. But you got on television and leaked out to reporters that the medical staff found something that you didn't previously see. So I listened to Raven fans today try to blow smoke about, oh, the medicals, and we had all of these doctors come in. And I said, okay, do a little research. When are the medical records available for teams trying to trade for a player? Well, the medical records were available before any team offered compensation for Max Crosby. The Raiders, the medical records for Max Crosby were available for everybody to review prior to even making a formal offer to the Raiders. I'm sorry, I don't like Reader. I don't like Reader.
Yeah, nah.
DJ Reader. I think he's going to cost too much. He's older, and he was not impactful at all to me. in Detroit.
It was disappointing there.
Year
I thought
one,
he had
that's
more of an
it.
impact, but yeah.
Year one in Detroit, he was good, but after that,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a fan. I'm not. He's still out there though. I don't think anybody signed DJ Reed yet, so he's still available. But back to this Ravens thing.
Mm-hmm.
The medicals were available, so you had before the 6th when you finalized the trade. You had the 6th when you did when not finalized, but when you agreed upon the trade. You had the medical records before you agreed on the trade. You had it the day you agreed on the trade. You had it that Saturday, the day after the trade. You had it Sunday, and then magically on Monday, the medical record showed you something else. Word, son.
Magically.
Like, yeah, you're like that's a lie. And just like
Mm-hmm.
you don't got a lie to kick it, dog. Tell the truth. Just tell the truth.
Yeah.
Right?
You got
Tell the
both
truth.
feet.
Yeah, like you saw that the market wasn't what you thought it was going to be for Trey Hendrickson, so you said let's try to get Trey Hendrickson. And then they put this story out. Oh, we was trying to get Trey and Max. How? You got a quarterback that makes $60 million. Where are you getting the rest of this money from to pay
Mm-hmm.
Max Crosby $30 million, and then Trey got 28. So that's that's over $100,000. I mean, it's over $100 million in your payroll. The cap is 290. I mean, what's the cap? 270 something?
The
It's a
cap right
cutthroat
now.
business. Yeah. It's a cutthroat move for sure. It is. And I think the cap is what, 283?
Cap currently is 301. Base salary is 301. 301.2, 2026 cap.
That's still a 30-year salary of 3 guys.
Yeah.
And they lost Likely. They lost Charlie Collard. They two tight ends. They lost an offensive line. They lost Tyler Linderbaum on the offensive line. They definitely lost Falele. He's gone. So I mean, there's a ton of spots that are like open. They lost 2 safeties, Darius Washington. They lost Louis Gilman. They lost a bunch of guys that they have to fix. Nah, they still got Jones. Oh, Draymond Jones. Yeah, they lost Draymond Jones too. So they lost a lot of guys, man. Keith Mitchell's gone, and you have to fill those spots. So I don't see where you spend a third of your cap on 3 players. I just don't see that. That's BS. You put that out there to try to save face and try to fix your reputation. Your reputation is crap. I think the Ravens are a terrible organization. I want the worst for them. Like I want them to miss the playoffs until further notice. Oh, there you go, Paul. Yes. Perhaps we could find a nose tackle in the draft, maybe 3rd or 4th. I'm thinking 4th or 5th. There's a few guys, and Joe, I know you probably have your you didn't think Baltimore was smart or weak in capital trade. I think from a organizational standpoint, I think they were smart. I think from a relationships and reputation standpoint, I think that was weak. I do. I think it was weak because you not only screwed the Raiders over, who were making plans post Max Crosby, but you screwed the Cowboys, you screwed the Bills, you screwed the Eagles, you screwed all of these other teams that could have been going after other edge rushers because Max was off the field. Max was out of the, he was no longer available. So all these other guys that we could have been going after, we didn't because we tried to save money. Collateral damage, yeah. I just think it's terrible. I think we should give them collateral damage when we play them. Collateral damage to the tune of like 60. I've never wanted to score 60 points in a football game. more than I do right now against the Ravens.
Oh, I know. I want to. You know what? I was trying
annihilate.
to see. I was trying to look something up,
Oh, okay.
and bummer. I was hoping that. I mean, the Ravens do come to Buffalo this year, but I was hoping that they played the Raiders this year, but they do not. So I was hoping for a little, right? That would be pretty cool to have that matchup, right? Hey, put that on like Thursday night or something, right? See that
when
crowd.
they do play, oh, trust me, that's gonna be must-see TV.
And I hope it's in Vegas. Nope.
Yeah, the Raiders are not going to forget about this, and I don't think the league is going to forget about this. I don't think the other owners are going to forget it, or GMs are going to forget this, what Eric DeCosta did. I don't think that the agents are going to forget about this. The Ravens will have to overpay for the foreseeable future to get Saquon Jones return that note. Saquon Jones will never wear a Bills jersey again. He's done. He's done. Saquon Jones is finished. After he crashed out on social media, it's over, man. That's it. But I just think the Ravens. They're scummy, and their fan base will defend anything.
Yep.
Yeah. They're scummy. It's some great Raven fans. I do know some great Raven fans.
We do.
Say that.
Yes.
You know, shout out to the barbershop. Shout out to the barbershop podcast, man. My guy Trey, man. Trey's a Raven fan. Good with me, brother. Your organization has a history of being scummy, though.
Yes,
Very
they do.
scummy.
Yes, they do. They've done this before too. Kika as well.
Kika's another one.
I like Kika. Yes, he is. Yep.
They got some good ones, man. Some good ones.
They do. They do.
They scummy though. That was a scummy move, man. Your word got to be your bond, man. I remember the first time hearing this rap lyric from Memphis Bleak. He said, the only thing I got in this world is my word and my.
Mm-hmm.
Can we say nuts? I'm all right. Whatever.
Yeah, we can.
He said, the only thing I got in this world is my word and my nuts, and I won't break them for nobody. And I have lived by that.
Yep.
I'm not breaking that.
Admirable.
So it is what it is, man. But they didn't. So, that's what it is.
Man, do you imagine if the Browns get Crosby to pair with Myles Garrett? Ooh, I will say that. Yeah.
They got Quincy Williams, though. I wouldn't have minded getting Quincy Williams. That was a nice.
Yeah, that's an interesting thought, though, by Paul Walker there. So, that would be pretty wild. So,
but ultimately, folks, like the Bills roster, while it doesn't seem like we've done anything, we're in good shape. I think the offense is cool. I'm good with adding another receiver in the draft. Preferably a speed guy. Like I'd like to get one of those Bryce Lance, Varian Brown, Brennan Thompson. What was the other kid? Burks, I think it was. That ran like a 4.3 flat, whatever it was. I'm cool with getting one of those guys. That'll be perfect. Yep. Brazil's not happening. That's a first or second round guy. That's not happening.
Yep.
We talked about this today on Twitter. Don't sleep on Solomon either in his defense. Yes. As an outside guy, I think he could really, Deion Burks, I think Solomon could flourish in this. Really, really long arms, strong, heck of a motor. He's going to be playing outside linebacker. I think we see something out of him. Don't forget, he had 17.5 sacks at Troy his last year there. Led the NCAA in sack. So he'll get his shot. He will get his shot in his defense. I believe he will. And we'll see what happens. We'll see what he does with it. I think receiver is still on the table for the Bills. I think it's probably a third round or later selection now.
Mm-hmm.
There's plenty of guys to choose from though. Antonio Williams is out there. Some of these guys still like they gotta still do their pro days. Some of these guys have to run. Like we need to see what they do. We could trade down. I'm sorry, man. I'm not investing after just trading for DJ Moore. I'm not investing the second round pick in a wide receiver. Just not doing it. We need a safety. We need another defensive lineman for sure. I'd like to get a we also need a corner. We need corner depth. We have to get a safety. We probably need more than one safety. I would say multiple safeties in the draft for sure.
We do.
Um, Even though we are, obviously we still got Jordan Hancock. There's no more DeMar Hamlin, Taylor Rapp's gone. Like those guys are no longer with us. Neither is Cam Lewis. So those are three guys that could play safety. There's no Jordan Poyer. So yeah. So far right now, this is what the defense looks like. Chubb, Oliver, Walker, Groot, and Michael Hoyt. Well, when Michael Hoyt comes back. If he doesn't come back right away, I think you can stick Solomon or Dorian Williams right there. You heard Hamlin sign with us. I didn't hear that. We draft Dante Corleone, leverage guy. I don't think Corleone's going in the third. I don't think he's going before the fifth. He needs to lose weight. He was like 366. He was like 360, 370 this year, and he looked it. I think he needs to lose weight to play better at the next level. Like he's just there now. Like we need more than that. This is going to be an attacking defense. Just because you play nose tackle doesn't mean your job ends by eating up blocks.
Yeah,
I think
agree.
we need somebody with a little more punch than that. My personal favorite is DeMonte Capehart out of Clemson. I think he could fit that spot. Don't forget, we also have Phidarian Mathis. We signed him to, we retained him as well. So I think Phidarian Mathis might get an opportunity to play, some nose tackle as well. But we'll see. But I think they will draft. I think they will draft a receiver. We gotta draft the safety. We have to draft a linebacker. We have to draft a defensive tackle. So those are three have to have.
Yep.
We definitely need another corner, depending on what happens with Dorian Strong. I still think we need another corner.
I don't think he may not be around 27 at the earliest, even if he does come back. So
yeah, we're probably gonna have to go get another safety too because we don't have depth at safety. It's just Hancock. Right, yeah. Capehart's a dog, man, and he's one of those edgy players we were talking about. He had an assault charge as well as a gun charge in college. So definitely an edgy guy. Paul, speaking my language, man, we can run a special tight end package with Keon and Kincaid with Hawes as fullback. I agree.
Like
I think that definitely losing Reggie Gilliam. I think that was a big loss for it. But I think that also opens up the opportunity for Hawes to play more. I think we may see some plays where he's lined up in the backfield or Knox is lined up in the backfield and they actually do lead block. So, or you know what? That'll make the play action game great. Send those guys out and be able to get them involved a little more. I like Kilgore. I like Kilgore more as a depth piece though. I don't like Kilgore to be the starter next to Bishop. I think Kilgore will really be good as your third safety / nickel guy. Warren, I like Warren. I feel like Warren's more of a box than he is a deep safety. And I feel like we need a deep safety, like a true deep safety. I love Dylan Thieneman from Oregon.
Yes. I do. Whittle? Yes. We share that same sentiment.
He is, I like him a lot. I do see us trading back. I do.
You think he's an end of the first round type guy, or do
we rock with?
You think we could get him early second round?
No, I don't. I actually, it depends on how the draft falls. It really does. Depends on how the draft falls. I could see us trading out of the first round to the early. I could see it being doing the same thing he did when he drafted Keon, which is trading back a couple of picks, but still in the first round. You know, I don't like Alford in the run game. I mean, in run defense though, that's the only thing. Yeah, I love. Listen, you get Thieneman. I don't care what you do with the other safety. After you get Thieneman, I don't care. That. Yeah, man. Give me that. We need to add to our WBWM crew anyway. And those at home that don't know what WBWM is, that's white boys with motion. Right now it's just Cole Bishop. So we gotta get him some help. We gotta get him some help, you know? If you
Will,
go
you
get
like this guy?
Thieneman,
I wanted to ask you about one more. How about Emmanuel McNeil Warren from Toledo?
Yeah, Warren. We talked about that. I think he's more of a box.
Warren. Okay, I was thinking McNeil. Okay.
I think he's more of a box.
6'4", 201. That's the size there. So that's
he can run a little bit too. I think he ran like a 4.5, like that. Yeah. I like him too. Like I think the thing is he has the range to do all of that stuff. I just don't know if it's natural for him. Bud Clark, great name. Bud Clark, great name. Yep, I wouldn't mind Bud Clark at all. I like the kid from USC. I like the kid Payne. I think it's BJ Payne. There's a bunch of guys. This is a really good safety group this year. This is a really good safety group.
Even my guy Wheatley from Penn State, he's pretty solid too. I'm not sure where he'll land.
Wheatley, yep. But
that's the beautiful part. We got great options.
We have to find the next iteration of Micah Hyde. That's what I want. I want the next Micah Hyde to pair up with Cole Bishop. That's what I want. So let's go. I'd like to go find that. Too. The defensive end, Tyreek Sapp. Are you talking about Tyreek Sapp, the defensive end from Florida? I think that's the DE Florida.
Tyreek Sapp.
If you are, you cooking with gas, brother. Because I like Tyreek Sapp a lot. I think he can. I think he's a better fit for an even front but there's a lot of potential there. I don't know if that's the guy you're talking. But I like if it is, I like that player a lot, a lot, a
Is he
lot.
related to Warren? Is he related to Warren Sapp?
I don't think so. Might be, but I don't think so.
I was just wondering. From Florida, just thinking maybe it could be Warren's son or something. I was trying to look that up here, but I can't verify it. Such a
I don't think
recognizable
he's
name.
banged. I don't think he's banged because I think he has. I think he's like he's got prototypical size all the way around, arm length, everything. Oh, Thynum's a first round pick, second round. He's late first, early second. It wouldn't even surprise me if he went if he was right at the end of the 20, like at the end of the teens. Like if somebody took Thynum at like 19 or 18, I wouldn't be surprised. I really wouldn't. But listen, we'll get into more of this draft stuff next week because
Oh yeah.
free agency should be about over. Free agency should be over at that point, and then the full. We will do a full on press on everything NFL draft. Bringing
Can't
in a
wait.
couple of people from the Do Champions Network to talk about the draft. They basically do draft stuff all year round. They don't stop. Um, so like they're clock they watching these high school kids that are getting ready to come in. So getting ready to come in to be freshmen. So they're on top of it. So we'll have one or two of those guys in here from.
I look forward to it, Whittle. I'll be the good old narrator for that. I want you all to get the best coverage. So I look forward to the next month coming up. So I'm gonna start
Yeah, we're
diving
gonna have
into
a
the
good
draft.
time, man. And then I'm gonna
We are.
I'll be at the draft. So me and my son will be at the draft.
Oh, that's
I don't
awesome.
know if we're
Okay.
doing I don't know if we're doing I know that there'll be show. I know there'll be something going on for the show, but Donovan Wilson with Dallas available on Brisker. Yeah, I know, but Brisker's more of a box guy too. Like he's not a deep safety. The Byard's out there, um, but he's kind of old. Nick Cross was available, and I think Nick Cross signed for like $8 million. So I think he signed for like $8 million a year. I love Nick Cross. Love Nick Cross. Deep safety. He hits like a little truck too. Like he's really good against the run. Um, he's got like Olympic track speed. He's an exceptional athlete. I love Nick Cross, but he's going Nick Cross. I think Nick Cross went to the Commanders too. And then the Commanders got him. No, not Nick Scott. Nope. No, thanks. No, not him. Yeah. Yeah. Scott is I mean Cross is gone. Cross. Yeah. Commanders did their thing, man. They overpaid for old boy though. They overpaid for Oway. Yeah, man, $25 million. I hope it work out for him. They also got Cleveland Chase on too to play for the Patriots last year. They had a sneaky good free agency so far. Uh, but listen, we have to get into this before we close out. Beyond, you got anything else with the you're on mute, brother. Still on mute. I don't know what's going on today, man. Like this has been really kind of crazy. Right. I gotta try to find- Okay, there we go. All right. Now, gonna put something out here, man. See if I can do this. All right.
Bills Mafia has a really big accountability problem. I kind of touched on this a little bit with Justin Herbert, except Chargers fans are Bills Mafia has a really big accountability problem. I kind of touched on this a little bit with Justin Herbert, except Chargers fans are few and far between.
Okay, all right. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
I got you, Whittle. Could you hear me?
Yes, you're good. All right, we're back. We're back. You can hear me, and I can hear you.
I got you. We are back.
We're back. All right. So, okay, perfect. So, guys, Bills fans, listen. I did not get to address this after the playoffs because I didn't know about it. They're not like now. Listen, listen, I'm just a Bills fan, just like everybody else, like just like the rest of y'all. Who cares what I think, right? But if I see something or hear something that's not right, I gotta say something. You can't let it slide, bro. I'm not tolerating no disrespect on the Buffalo Bills. If anybody gonna disrespect the Bills, it's gonna be me or us. Like all you outside people, none of that. None of that. So this young lady, her name is Liv Moods. She is a Denver sports content creator, media personality, et cetera, et cetera. Um, this was somebody sent. I saw this actually on TikTok, uh, and this was sent. You know, this was it was sent to me on TikTok. That's where I saw it, and I didn't. I never got a chance to address it. I'm gonna address it now. So we'll run it from the top. Just want to give you guys the background, little background, and we'll uh we'll piece through this. We'll piece through this. So what's up, Carlos?
Hey,
We'll piece
Carlos.
through this, little piece by piece. So,
Mm-hmm.
ladies and gentlemen, Liv Moods.
Bills Mafia has a really big accountability problem. I kind of touched on this a little bit with Justin Herbert, except Chargers fans are few and far between.
My problem with that, you can hear me still? You can hear me?
Oh, yeah. I got you.
Okay. Number one, that's my main issue. I tried this with Charger fans, but Charger fans are few and far between. And look, she's probably never gonna see this. And even if she does, like, this not the smoke you want, sweetheart. It's not. Promise you that. Like, not the smoke you want. Especially not when it comes to the Bills or this football like, it's not the smoke you want. But anyway, you tried this with the Chargers, but the Chargers fan base wasn't big enough. So that tells me immediately, this is for clicks. This is for engagement.
100%.
This is visual rage bait. This is video rage bait. And they know we don't play Paul. They know we don't play. This is why they do this, because they know if I say Bills Mafia, if I say Josh Allen, if I say Buffalo Bills, if I say Keon Coleman, if I say, James Cook, I know they're going to respond. Yeah, you're right. We are. Every single time. Every time you take a shot, another 3 bullets is coming your way. Every time. Every time. And revenge is a dish best served cold. I don't have to get to you right away. We're going to get to it, though. Believe that. Every disrespect. Every piece of disrespect will be addressed. Let's continue.
Bills Mafia, it's your turn. You have an accountability issue. Every time Josh Allen and this Buffalo Bills team falls short, it is everybody else's fault.
I got to stop it there again. This is my issue with that statement, right? This is my issue with that statement. We have an accountability problem. I agree with Bills fans not really wanting to blame Josh Allen for anything negative, nothing. And that's on us. That's on us. But to sit here and say that anytime we lose is everybody else's fault, no, it's not everybody else's fault. It's the defense's fault.
Mm-hmm.
It's the defense's fault. Yeah, like, hold on. With Marshall Louise, listen, she definitely picked the fight with the wrong fan base. I'm on a head top this season. Denver better be 17-0. I'm on a head top.
Mm-hmm.
Every opportunity I can. And you on Twitter too? Oh yeah. We're gonna get very, very acquainted. We are going to be very, very, very acquainted this season. And I'm not the Twitter trolls that you deal with. I'm not them. I'm gonna hit you with the facts and the stats. Shout out to my boy Ev. I'm gonna hit you with all that. I mean, so however you want to do it, we can do it. Like, however she want to do this, we can do it. But I'm in her mentions as soon as football season starts. Best believe. Don't let this defense be good. Okay? Don't let this defense be good. Don't do that. Because I know what the offense is hitting for.
Mm-hmm.
I'm putting it out there now. Anything less than 1,200 yards from DJ Moore, I think that's an underachievement. Anything less than 1,200 receiving yards, I got a problem with that. Shakir, we need 1,000. Kincaid, can you play the whole season? I don't want James Cook carrying the ball 300 times. I still want the yards, though. I still want 1,100 rushing yards, but I want it on 230 carries. I don't need 16 touchdowns on the ground for James Cook. I need 18 touchdowns total from James Cook. Parse it out however you want. 10 on the ground, 8 in the air, 12 on the ground, 6 in the air, 15 in the air, 3 on the ground, whatever. I need 18. highest scoring team in the league. Man, listen, Paul, make sure you keep coming back, man. Y'all got to keep coming back. What do you think they playing with? It's been the defense's fault. So, no, we don't blame everybody else. Now, if you want to sit here and look at the Chiefs games, especially the last time we lost to the Chiefs, Josh didn't get that first down. Word. James Cook didn't get that first down when he had an 11-yard run and y'all backed it up to a 9-yard run. And Cade didn't get that first down. That's what we doing. Let's keep going.
Let me remind you in the most respectful way possible, because I do respect Josh Allen. Josh Allen has the best running back in the league. Josh Allen is one of the best O-lines in the league.
What else?
That's more than most quarterbacks can say.
Is it? Let's talk about who was in the playoffs this past year. Let's talk about that. Did the Bills have a better wide receiving group than the Jags? No. Did we have a better wide receiver group than the Chargers? No. Do you have a better wide receiver group than the Texans? No. Did we have a better wide receiver group than the Steelers? No. About the Patriots? No. Yeah, you got a great offensive line. Got a great running back. What else? It's another side of the football. And you can't mention that other side because you know it's bad. You know they don't perform well in the playoffs. They haven't. I think the defense played well enough to win. You turned the ball over too much. And we talk about that. We acknowledge that. For how often? How often has Josh Allen failed the Buffalo Bills in the playoffs? Let's be honest. Like let's look at the last 7 years of his career. How often has Josh Allen failed the Buffalo Bills in the playoffs? I'm gonna add it up for you guys. One time. Touchdown to turnover ratio for Josh Allen in the playoffs. Stupid. It was like 6-1 before this game against the Broncos. What are we doing? And he's done it consistently with less weapons than everybody else I'm not gonna say everybody else. Than the majority of the teams that get out of the first round. What if we had a better roster on offense than the Ravens? 2020? Sure. If you think the wide receiver group constitutes the better, because the Ravens had a better offensive line. The Ravens had a much better tight end room. They had an all-pro at tight end. Better kicker. Quarterback. I mean, the quarterbacks are right there. Then they had better running backs. Yeah, we had the wide receivers. That's it. That's it. She brings up the things that Josh Allen has at his disposal. And it's better than what a lot of quarterbacks can say. None of those quarterbacks that can't say it are in the playoffs. None of them. And if we want to compare, Bo Nix has a better offensive line. Bo Nix has better receivers. Bo Nix has a better offensive play caller. He's got a much better defense. Special teams is better. Let's continue. This is what we deal with.
Honestly,
Bills
the
fans.
franchise, the Buffalo Bills franchise that voted against the tush push, ran it 5 times in these last playoffs.
Why did Sean McDermott vote against the tush push? said because the play was dangerous. Now, because he voted against it, based on the parameters of what the vote was for the safety of the players in that play. That's what he voted against. Said it wasn't a safe play. It's still legal though. So why not use it? Why are you mad though? Because we can do it and we're great at it? Let's keep going.
We had a rule change. We changed the rules for the Buffalo Bills. That's what we do. When things don't go their way, we change the rules. Whether or not it was a good call to change the rule or not, we still changed it on behalf of the Buffalo Bills. Deion Dawkins getting on Twitter.
There's another misconception that irks my nerves. Because a simple Google search will tell you the Buffalo Bills had no part in putting that vote forward to change the overtime rules. And if we keeping it a buck, and if you really want to keep it a buck, Miss Moves, the first team to lose a game based on that overtime situation was the Kansas City Chiefs. That was the first time the rule came up. It was after that game. It didn't pass. Not enough support. But you know what it took to get that? You know what it took to get that rule across the finish line? It took the number one quarterback in the NFL and the number two quarterback in the NFL to go back and forth for an entire quarter and a half. That's what it took. So what's the problem for real? Are you mad at the Bills or are you mad because you don't have what we have? You don't have the motion. You want the motion, but you don't got the motion. That's your issue. You have Bo Nix. You want Josh Allen. But you can't have Josh Allen. That's the real problem. The real problem here is that Josh Allen is box office. And you not just you, not just the Denver fan base, but a lot of fan bases, you're just mad about it. You're mad that he's box office. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I'm not sorry for Denver. You could have picked him. You took Bradley Chubb. That's why you're mad. And that's why every time you get a W against Josh Allen, it feels like justification. It feels like justification because you passed on. The Broncos passed on. So every hurdle, every broken record, every rushing touchdown, every highlight play, gotta sting a little bit more. You had him right there and you passed on him. We'll continue.
The second the game's over to declare that he did not think that was an interception.
A lot of people didn't think it was an interception. You know why? Because the next day, in the next set of playoff games, a similar play happened, and guess what? It was ruled a catch. 24 hours later, a similar play was ruled a catch. What do you want? That's where the skepticism comes from. We'll move on.
I've seen more Bills Mafia members talking about the interception that was called correctly, by the way. The interception that they didn't agree with, but making no mention of 4 turnovers by their Superman quarterback.
That's not true. That's not true. And this is what happens when you don't actually talk to Bills fans. When you don't actually interact in Bills spaces. I don't mean Bills spaces as far as Twitter spaces, but Bills spaces. Exactly. Just rage baiting, brother. This is what this is. This is rage bait. And I'm taking the bait so you don't have to. I'm taking the bait so you don't have to. But trust Trust and believe. Trust and believe. I'm on a head top all season long. Broncos better be great. Because if they not, I'm gonna let her know about it. I'm gonna let her know about it. But anyway, we'll move forward. But yeah, you gotta be in Bills spaces to fun. You gotta be around Bills fans. You gotta interact with Bills fans in order to understand what Bills fans actually talk about. You don't talk to Bills fans. Bills fans jumped in your she'll get to that. She'll get to that in a second. But you don't actually talk to Bills fans. So how do you know what we were talking about? How do you know that we didn't talk about the turnovers? You don't. You just didn't see it on TV. So because you didn't see it on TV, you're gonna coddle your Denver Broncos fan. And I know get back is the get back, dog. Like you always talk about, man. That get back, we spend when we spin the block, like it feels great to do it. Well, we didn't get a chance to spin the block this time. They got a chance to spin the block because they ran their mouth the year before and said, "Bring us Buffalo. Bring us. We want Buffalo. We want Buffalo." You asked for Buffalo, you got Buffalo. Buffalo put a foot up your, you know what. So we'll keep going.
We've got some accountability issues here, Bills Mafia. No offense. Respectfully, you didn't care about the injuries pregame. You didn't make any mention of them. You made sure Broncos fans knew loud and clear how you felt. And it was that we were the worst number 1 seed in the AFC. We stood no chance against Josh Allen. Bo Nix was washed. Bo Nix was overrated. Bo Nix couldn't win a football game versus the Buffalo Bills. You never once made mention of the injuries then, but then you lose.
Anybody who's on Twitter, anybody that comes to Bill Spaces, if you're on Twitter and you come to Bill Spaces, you know we preview games the week leading up to it. I know for a fact it was said multiple times against the Broncos, we should win this game as long as we take care of the football. We didn't take care of the football. It is what it is. Unforced. Some of those were unforced errors. Okay. The fumble on Cooks. I mean, the fumble with James Cook. That was a great defensive play. Can't complain. Did your job. That was a great play. But we forced a fumble, and Larry Ogunjobi is lined up off sides. We recovered the fumble and lost it because Ogunjobi got the flag. Who's no longer with us, by the way. Ogunjobi's out of here. Right. But yeah, man. What's good, man? What's good, brother? The throw to PJ, like the interception to PJ Lott, terrible. That was a terrible read by Josh Allen. You know, we did not play a great game. We didn't. We didn't play a great game. And we did talk about the injury. We talked about not having Michael Hoyt. We talked about not having Ed Oliver at full strength. We talked about how that affected the pass rush. Because baby girl, channel in my inner AOC. If you would have played the Buffalo Bills with a healthy Michael Hoyt and a healthy Ed Oliver, a healthy Dorian Williams, all that running around and scrambling and all that Bo Nix, none of that was happening. None of it. None of it. So you're upset. You went on your rant. And this is what bothers me about this, guys. It's the smugness. It's the smugness. Like the peacocking and flaunting your feathers. We turned the ball over 5 times and you won in your building by 3 in overtime. You won the game, but do you really feel like you was the better team? I don't. You shouldn't. But you do because That's what happens when you win. You get to run your mouth like this. Let's keep going. We're almost done, guys. I'm glad y'all are sticking with me.
Lose, and all of a sudden, oh, well, we're banged up. Well, you didn't care about being banged up pregame. You didn't.
We did.
You didn't mention
We
it
did.
once, actually,
We did. We did.
in your super obnoxious tweets and DMs to me. Not one time did you mention that you were banged up. In fact, you know, it was one of those, I'll give you a head start. Oopsie, I lost the race. You kind of got a little cocky there, a little arrogant.
A little cocky, a little arrogant. So see, this is about her. This is not about us Bills fans. This is about her feeling vindicated from that belt we gave her team the year before. That belt we gave her, and then the facts that the number 1 seed and number 2 seed in the AFC were actually the worst when you compare them to the rest of the number 1 and number 2 seeds throughout, the last however many years. According to DVOA, you guys were the worst 1 seed, and the Patriots were the worst 2 seed. You had really easy schedules. The quarterbacks that you faced and the teams that you faced, a lot of them were banged up. And let's keep it a buck. The Denver Broncos won a lot of games late. They won a lot of games in the fourth quarter because that defense kept that team in the game. And Bo, give him credit. He played well in the fourth quarter throughout the year. He did. Played very well coming down the stretch. They was able to pull out a lot of games. But I promise you this, there's always a regression back to the mean. You won a ton of games close the year before, it's not going to work out that way the same way next season. You want an example of that? The Kansas City Chiefs. You want another example of that? The Washington Commanders. They won a lot of one-score games where they was losing in the fourth quarter, and they came back and won. We are usually humble and classy. Sure, there are some wild ones, but other teams are way yappier. And that's the thing, Paul. Bills fans don't always initiate. However, we always respond. And we're going to keep responding. But let's keep going.
Arrogant about the fact that you felt like you could beat the Denver Broncos despite having a banged up roster. You didn't bring up the injuries one time.
That's not true.
So I struggle with Bills Mafia just a little bit because it does feel like Bills Mafia wants to believe that the world is against them. By the way, you probably have one of the most respected quarterbacks in this league.
What? See, and this is what I'm talking about. How is Josh Allen one of the most respected quarterbacks in the NFL when he was voted the most overrated player in the NFL by NFL players? His MVP in 2024 has been judged by a lot of people as a DEI MVP. An MVP that they just here, just take it. We tired of giving it to Lamar. This is why it's Bills Mafia versus everybody. This is why it's Buffalo versus the world. This is why. Because when we win, we celebrate, but we're not allowed to celebrate too much. But when we lose, everybody celebrates. Let's finish up.
I would argue that out of all the quarterbacks,
Let's see. Sorry, I had to hear all of that. But we need your soldiers on the wall. We need the soldiers on the wall, man. I don't know if y'all watch Game of Thrones, but this is what it is. Like, if the NFL was Game of Thrones, The Bills are the Starks. 100%. It's not close. We're the Starks. We thought the Bengals was our homies because they helped us get into the playoffs back in 2017, only for them to snake us and do us dirty the way they did in 2022 when Damar Hamlin died on the field. They did us filthy after that. Filthy. You know the Chiefs hate us. I think they respect us a little bit, but we ain't win no Super Bowl, so how much respect do we really get? And that's all you hear. No matter how many times we beat, like we be punching on the Ravens. And what's their go-to? You ain't win a Super Bowl. We be punching on the Jets. They got a Super Bowl back when, I don't know, like handlebar mustaches and everybody ain't have running water. Like that's when they got their Super Bowl. It was like 1960. I don't even know if cars had seatbelts when the Jets won the Super Bowl. It was so long ago. Leather helmet days. Talk to him, Paul. Leather helmet days. This is what we got to deal with. The Dolphins had a perfect season in the 70s. They ain't won a playoff game this century. But what do they say? You don't have no Super Bowls. No matter how many times you punch on us and punch on Tua and punch on the Dolphins, you don't have no Super Bowl. We go to Jacksonville to play the Jags in the playoff. Everybody picks against us. Yeah, well, TD Finn's talk is TD Finn's is just he's another rage baiter. Talking about Malik Willis the best quarterback with the division. Shut up. Shut up. You said the same thing about Tua. Shut up. Listen, man. We get up out of here now. We're gonna get up out of here, and I appreciate everybody pulling up, but it's a big year. We need to get it done. New stadium, new head coach, new defensive scheme, new organizational structure. It's the same old mantra, man. It's Buffalo versus everybody. Bottom line. The season is starting. Yeah, we respect some teams. We respect some of the opponents. We do. We do. We do. We respect some of them. We ain't cool. We ain't cool, dog. It's a race. It's a race. It's a race to the Super Bowl. We trying to win that. As far as I'm concerned, 31 other teams, y'all in the way. And if you win our way, you're taking your chain. We coming for it. You got to come get your chain back. That's it. So, man, again, thank you for pulling up the coast to coast. I know we ran a little long this week. We did start a little late. We had some technical difficulties, which I'm going to try to figure out tomorrow. But I appreciate you guys hanging tough. It's a little later than usual, but I appreciate you guys hanging tough. Please like and subscribe. We're doing this again next week on Wednesday. We will have guests. We will be shorter. Won't be as long. We'll talk about we'll recap finance. We'll recap free agency. We'll get into the draft really, really heavy. And, we'll keep plugging away, man. The season is upon us. Let's get it. It's us versus them, man. We need to take care of business. It's a big year. Big year for this franchise. Love y'all. Stay safe. See you next week. Be good, do good, and go Bills. God bless. Throw that in there too. All right, folks, man. Y'all take it easy. We out of here. Salute.